A very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evan Sokinyi, and this is definitely Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. I'm here with Professor Herman Manyora. Prof, how are you?
Good. I'm okay, thank you.
Okay, I can see a lot is actually happening in the country. And it seems like this year's, of course, Justin Muturi is kind of creating waves in this country at this particular moment in time. But before we get into that and look at the political happenings and perhaps maybe the games being played therein, I want us to look at his recent revelations. And of course, right now, we are witnessing a situation whereby ever since all these abductions began, we've not received any answer. Now, the closest answer that we've received so far is pointing directly to the NIS, and of course you saw all those high-profile individuals being mentioned there by Justin Muturi with regards to the kidnapping of his son 6 months ago. I wonder what you make of all this. Could it be that this is the body that is actually being made to do such kind of things?
I think it's just the usual political games. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a reality of a missing boy. That is not a game. That's a reality. It can still be a game. But let's assume it's an abduction. And agree it's an abduction. To the extent that that is being exposed today was not exposed in June last year, you can begin to see there must be a reason why it is being exposed now. So these are all political games.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you've not answered actually my question on what Kenyans are actually wondering about. Who is kidnapping our young people?
But Muturi has tried to tell us. So what are you asking me? He has said.
So right now, actually.
And that is the gospel according to Justin Muturi. That it is NIS. That is according to him. We must be very clear about it. And that even the president knows. So let's be very clear that it's according to Muturi. Yes. The president has not come to say it is yes or no, and he doesn't have to. I don't know what the NIS will say. Yes.
And according to Muturi, it's like the only person who actually ensured that his son was released was the president, because he said calling all these.
Again, we must keep repeating according to Justin Muturi. Yeah.
Okay. So according to Justin,
we have no evidence that actually the president made that call.
Okay, let's cross over to Justin Muturi. And
of course, people don't say Manyora is defending Ruto. These days,
that's according to him.
Yes, according to Justin Muturi, which I'm saying it is true. It's Muturi who has said that. We don't have evidence that it is true. Yeah.
But that's what he has said. But and of course, that is the closest answer that now we can get to in terms
if
of.
If it is true, then we would. Now we know. If it is true. If it turns out to be true, now we know who is doing it. But there is more. If it is true, that will mark an end to the abductions. Because with this kind of revelation, if it is true, I don't think it will be further abductions.
But this actually brings in some very good question here, and the most important one on the fate of ordinary Kenyans, because this is Justin Muturi is a high-profile and high-ranking individual in this country. For him, he could easily call those people and ensure the release of his son.
And drive to State House.
Exactly, and drive to State House. But there are Kenyans who are down here who do not even know the direction to State House. How are they now being left or being placed in this kind of situation?
If it is true, Muturi has worked for them. He has done to them which they could not do. They could not drive to State House. Okay. They could not have known it is NIS. They could not have known that the president can intervene. And like I've said before, if it is true, it brings an end to the abductions, because after this, there can be no abductions.
Let's get to the timing of it. 6 months down the line, questions are being asked. Why is it that CS Muturi did not speak back then, even after his son had been released? Why come out right now? Several political analysts and so many people in the country, within the political sphere, are reading a lot from his timing and the reason as to why he decided to go ahead, and even his approach in the first place, going ahead and giving a press statement. What do you make of all this?
I already answered that. I already said it. I said these are political games.
So make us understand. So what game could he be playing here?
He could be playing a game with an end in mind. That game could be his game. It could be somebody's game. He's helping that person. He could be a pawn being used, but it's a game. Yeah.
There's certain people who are saying here that this is just a father.
The common denominator that this is a political game. The role Muturi is playing is debatable, but it is a game.
Okay.
It's a game.
So it's a game.
Yes.
Ah.
If he had done what he's doing today in June last year, then nobody would have seen it as a game, to be a natural thing. But it is a game.
So if it's a game, then perhaps he's got an end goal, whatever he wants
That's
to
what I'm saying, yeah. It depends whose game is this. Is it his game? If it's not his game, if it is his game, what is the end game? If it is somebody's game, who is this? And whoever that person is, what is the role of Muturi? What does Muturi stand to gain or lose? So if it is his game, people are saying he wants to be governor. See? So if you come out, he's very popular now, by the way. He's extremely popular. By the time he's sacked or resigns, he will be on top of popularity. And if he wants Embu governor, is just to pick in the morning and go with it home. He could also be ambitious. He knows Mount Kenya will not field a candidate. They are more likely to get prime minister, prime something, or even running mate. He could be angling for that. That could be his own game and calculation. It could not be a game to get rid of Haji. Because Haji is very, very central to the politics of the land, especially as we move to 2027.
Nurdin Haji.
Yeah, NIS is very, very central, very critical. Yeah. This game, you cannot play it without Haji. So now, who is this who might want to remove Haji?
Okay.
Who might want to remove Haji?
But
Would it be Ruto? For strategic reasons? Seeing as it were, that position will be very critical as he moves to 2027, and he might want to bring somebody 100% compliant and reliable. You know, Haji is a spy master, Boynet type. He can understand the situation better than most of these people who have come before him. In between Boynet and him, there have been 2 or 3 people, and they don't understand the game the way Haji understands it. And therefore, Haji, like Boynet, can see where the wind is blowing and begin to deal with that side, give them information. Ruto might want to remove him. Or Gachagua might want, he knows how important and how central the security sector is to Ruto's stay in power under 2027. So you go for at the heart of that and you remove Haji. So the Gachagua team could be using, what do you call him? Muturi. But the bottom line is that Haji is very critical. So you might want to remove him. And either side could have something to lose or gain with Haji being there or not being there. So I'm saying these are just games. These are wild.
Definitely.
These are wild dreams we are engaging.
But then if perhaps Justin Muturi is being used here as a pawn, as you're saying it, then perhaps I don't see the possibility of the game being played by the president, or perhaps maybe any intention to have Haji removed, because one, in the first place, just this name alone was enough to send DP Gachagua packing.
But that's what I'm telling you. Haji is not just DG. Haji is Haji also. He brings something to that office.
So if
that is a spy master par excellence. So you can only compare him to Boynet. And he understands the game so well that he's so useful to Ruto. But Ruto could also feel like Boynet, this guy could share the way Boynet must have shared, could have shared with Kibaki information, seeing as it were, Kanu was losing.
Okay.
And it happens even in America. The Secret Service, and the intelligence and everything, they begin to, they see the direction the country is taking. So it is possible, much as he will be the most useful person to Ruto, it's also possible that if you have any doubts, you might also want to remove him. But for the president, I don't think he will need that circular route. He can just do it directly. But again, you see, because removing Hajj means you will affect so many people, and you want to do it maybe. But I see that argument from people not being so serious, because the president has a shorter route if you wanted to remove Hajj. Again, it will be counterproductive to the president. It will hurt him more than he will gain. So the more plausible route is those who know how central Hajj is to Ruto's survival and the re-election. And they know if you go for Hajj, you go to at the heart of it all, in terms of Ruto's presidency and the re-election plan. So, but we know we are just, thinking just widely. There's nothing real. Maybe there's nothing into this thing. Maybe Muturi just got fed up. Maybe he just saw that the final phase of these abductions and he was touched. As a human being, he said no. These last 3 weeks, it has been very difficult. The abductions got to a point where everybody was saying no. Maybe he was touched. His conscience weighed him down, and he said, there's something I can say to end this thing. Maybe it's just as simple as that. Yeah.
So what was seen back then as a deliberate attack by the deputy president, then of course Rigathi Gachagua, on the NIS boss, actually was enough to send him packing. And Justin Muturi clearly understands that at this point in time,
touching Hajj is dangerous.
Yeah, and of course, Hajj has proved to be untouchable. But then he still goes ahead and do that. And I've seen it circulating all over. People talking of, is this guy kind of trying to call for his impeachment, or rather sacking or something of the sort? Because we've also seen MPs who are actually threatened to have him impeached as well. If the deputy president was impeached just because of this, then what about a CS? But remember, at the same time, we're also talking about somebody who's been Attorney General of this country and who actually clearly understands how critical and important the NIS role in this country is. So if at all Muturi wants to go, as things are right now, let's see. In terms of the political game plan in the central Kenya region, how would this work? If at all the president agrees and says that indeed this person wants to go and then he becomes sacked, then what next?
You see, when before you talk about the impacts of him being sacked, there is also the possibility of Samsonian kind of option, where he knows he's being sacked anyway. People have also said that. And he decides to go down with the house, to bring down the house as he goes, like Samson. It's also possible. If the president plays into his hands and sacks him, he will make a bad situation worse. So if I were Ruto, I will behave like Uhuru and Kibaki, especially Uhuru. I will just ignore.
Okay.
Let him be a useless minister. Yeah, I'll just ignore. Yeah. So that I don't play into your hands. If that was your intention, I'll just ignore. Piga kelele, ukitaka kuresign, you resign. But I'll just ignore. Because to sack Muturi is to give him political mileage. I mean, from the president. So if I were the president, I would deny him that. I'll leave him be there. These ministers, in fact, are doing nothing.
So what will he actually benefit from being sacked?
Who?
Muturi himself.
His name will go high up in the skies. Yeah.
Okay.
His profile will be high. He's already high. What he has done, how many people could do in this country? If there's rumor that a few more ministers could resign, and I'm going to talk about it on Saturday. Not necessarily resign, but become bold and do some things. So he's first in that line, and that That gives him a lot of bonga points.
You're talking of him trying to gain some sort of political mileage, but remember, previously he had been allied to the UDA, or rather Kenya Kwanza alliance. Does this then prove, therefore, that at this particular moment in time, the Mount Kenya region is maybe done with William Ruto? Because it's like, if I told you now have to appeal to the people, then you must have the anti-Ruto kind of tag in this particular area.
Of course, everybody by now is aware that Mount Kenya is through with Ruto. They are completely through.
Now that he comes from the eastern side, does this now actually complicate these things more?
Because in the calculation of the Ruto side, I think they were ready to let go Mount Kenya West. They were ready to lose it, but stick with Mount Kenya East,
yes,
which has good votes. You know? So if you get Western, get Nyanza, and get Mount Kenya East, Mount Kenya West can go. That's what they thought. That could have been formed the choice of Kindiki as a replacement of Gachagua. But they already have seen it has no impact. So Muturi's severing links, ties with Ruto could be the final nail in Ruto's coffin, not the one being drawn by these boys and girls, but political coffin, in as far as Mount Kenya is concerned. That whatever hope there was from the Ruto camp, they would get a portion of Mount Kenya by pulling off Mount Kenya East. With the Muturi now family speaking against the administration, Ruto's administration, I think Mount Kenya as a whole will fairly be gone. Because I'm sure the next thing they'll give Kiraitu a ministerial post. But I don't think that will change much. Just like Kindiki didn't achieve much. Elevating Kiraitu to ministerial position won't achieve much. I think it will achieve zero. Because if you ask me, people like Kiraitu have outlived their usefulness. Yeah. So unless you got a younger politician like Peter Munya, you see? But I think I can see Kiraitu being brought to government. But with Muturi out in the manner it is panning out, I think Ruto's fate in Mount Kenya is sealed. It will take something short of a miracle. Nothing short of a miracle.
Prof, do you believe, if you look at the political kind of, let me say, power that these individuals wield, and of course both the Deputy President Kithure Kindiki and the Justin Muturi, the CS here, comes from the same region. Do you then think that perhaps that region would maybe stick with the president because of the DP's presence therein?
I've already said no. It has had no impact. The Kindiki thing has had no impact.
Therefore, you're saying here that Justin Muturi can actually come up with a wave that can...
He's making it worse. Whatever hope there was that they would not lose the entire Mount Kenya because of Kindiki, they would have Mount Kenya East. That hope diminishes with the entry of Muturi into opposition politics. Yeah.
Okay, in your hypothesis, you mentioned something to do with maybe there is a likelihood that he's also working with the former Deputy President, of course, Rigathi Gachagua, and I've also seen people alluding to maybe the fact that it's possible that Rigathi Gachagua could come back with the Democratic Party, of course, a party that is affiliated to Justin Muturi right now. Can you shed some more light on that?
That's true. That's true. That's possible that instead of creating a new party, DP is a party that resonates with the people of the mountain. It is Kibaki's party. Okay. I remember the day it was announced, the lady who announced was sacked almost the same day. Yeah, the same day, I think. I think also Christmas or something like that. When Kibaki from the Blues left Kano and formed the DP. That lady, what was her name on KTN then? She was sacked. It was a bombshell. And DP remained a popular party until the rainbow. Okay. So you can reintroduce the Democratic Party to the people of Mount Kenya, and it will be perfect. And that will make it easier for Gachagua, because I've said the worst mistake Gachagua can make is to lower himself. You know, he's already up there in the sky. Trying to form small parties, lowering yourself. Let other people do it. But embracing an existing serious party like DP would be good for him. And they would then do it because Muturi is already there. And then others will join. Then Gachagua, so that it's just like people are going home. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if at all Gachagua would be able to get Muturi on his side, then that would be a force to reckon with.
Yeah,
in this particular part of
the storm is gathering. They just want to consolidate the anger on the mountain. Once it is fully consolidated, then they will take it in the direction where it will contribute to removing Ruto from power. That could be Matiang'i, that could be Kalonzo, it could be one of their own, it could be anybody. But once you consolidate all the mountain anger, because it's a question of anger, all of them facing one direction, that direction will be extremely powerful. Yeah. Could even be Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga could lose AU and come back and say he's running against Ruto. And the mountain people could support him. They could think Matiang'i is younger and youthful and better. They could support Matiang'i. Yeah.
But the storm is gathering.
Yes, the storm is gathering.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can weigh in and tell us what you think about the recent happenings with regards to the revelations by the CS Justin Muturi and how all this is actually going to spawn out in the long run. Prof is saying that it's a political game, but let's wait and see how it's going to play out. Allow me to stop for now till we have this conversation again. Have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans Okinyi.